I'm not sure,
I don't
but
know. That shirt's a pretty color on you though.
well, it's the color of my team. So
All right,
I'm a walking billboard today.
there you go. All right, so we are now live on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome everybody to season three, episode one. Well, we've got a lot to unpack and unravel. We took a 2 week, 2.5 week hiatus just to kind of unplug and get ourselves situated. And we are looking for a season three that's going to be free from any technical difficulties altogether. But hey, you never know. Anything could happen with technology.
Yeah,
So
especially with technology. Uh,
so I'm gonna
it's one of
be
those things you can't plan against, but if it happens, we know how to pivot.
yes, we do definitely. It's kind of like stick and move.
Oh yeah.
Well, want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. Season one was really cool. Season two was even better. We're looking for a great season three where we are reducing the time that we're going to be coming online. So instead of 2 weeks, or sorry, 2 episodes per week, we're just going to be doing Saturdays now with a special guest. So that reduces our output by one episode a week. And I think that it's just going to be a better fit for everybody. Not to just talk about like the kind of like constraints that it puts on us, but also on the amount that we're going to be able to put out and for everybody to receive.
Yeah.
So we want it to be nice, consumable chunks of awesome, valid information that's going to help everybody out there. If you're thinking about getting started with something that you're going to have on your own, or thinking about having a second type of possible side income or side hustle or whatever the case may be, you know
Yeah.
you're in the right spot. That we're here to provide you with that information, and hopefully get you off your ass to make something of yourself, besides just being there clocking in for the man. I said that to somebody the other day, and I really aged myself because he's like, you don't look that old to be saying something like
Well, I mean, it's a gift and a curse. You don't look that old, but the insides. I always try to model myself after a car, even though I'm not as fast as a car. But I know if you don't change the oil or you don't replenish the fluids, you know, it could go bad.
It
And
could.
I've been keeping the maintenance and upkeep, to keep things flowing correctly. But sometimes the little light comes on. I'm like, it's okay. It's not red. It's yellow. It's okay. I can go a few more miles, and that's not the case. So
Yeah.
I advise you to. It's going towards springtime. It feels like spring here. It's kind of warm. I drunk a lot of water, and I'm drinking a lot of coffee. So I think I should make it.
Fantastic. So everybody, my name is Bob G. I'm your web design strategist.
And I'm Lamont Braithwaite, you're a metric specialist. And since this is season three, we got an all new intro. Let the metrics guide you. Let them show you the way. I mean, it's not like God, but there's God, then there's underlevel. You know what? Let me stop playing because I
Yeah,
can't compare
you
that to God.
stop right there.
That's
You stop right there.
yeah. I didn't think this all the way through, and
Is
my
that is that
apologies,
a
but
is that a devil on your shirt?
no, it's a coal miner.
Oh, okay, okay. It looks like a blue
Well,
devil.
a salt miner, I should say. The devil? Why would
Awesome.
I?
I
No.
don't know. I don't know.
Let me hold on. Let me straighten it out a little bit. It's a little
Oh, okay. I
greasy,
see the
but
cap now. All right, cool,
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
All right, everybody. We've got a special guest today, Teresa Soto, coming straight to you live from. I think it's no. I'm not even going to say it because I don't remember right now. But here she
Oh,
is.
Hey,
I
hey,
don't
Kansas
remember.
City.
Kansas City.
Kansas
I
City.
knew it. I
Okay,
knew it.
okay,
Ah,
okay.
I was gonna
Here I
say that,
come.
but I didn't want to have my foot in my mouth.
Well, I
Uh,
mean,
On to Kansas City.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Welcome
So
aboard.
I
Thank you so much for taking the time out and being with us today.
Sure.
I can
Thanks for
just
having
imagine you're
me.
a Chiefs fan over there.
Oh my gosh. If you are not, you don't need belong in the city.
I'll be sure to buy
I,
me a
I
hat when I come visit.
That's right.
I
There's
remember when I
plenty of
used
them.
to
There's
live
shirts. There's stuff everywhere.
everywhere. So I remember when I used to live over
Everywhere.
there. We would drive on the highway escapes me right now,
I
but
35, I 70,
I 70,
635, 435.
I 70. You would be
Uh huh.
going on I 70, and you'd see this huge ass red barn with the arrowhead
Oh,
of Kansas. I couldn't believe. I'm like, wow, the loyalty, the fanism is real in Kansas City.
oh, for
Like,
sure,
it's
for
great.
sure. There is Chiefs
Well,
logos, arrowheads everywhere. They can
Yeah.
paint it.
well,
It's big enough. They're going to put it on it.
And then
there's
the
nothing
other
wrong
thing
with that.
that really blew my mind is that if you've never been to Kansas City to catch a Chiefs game, and you were lucky enough to catch a Royals game, you know, you are like 30 steps away from either stadium.
I know. They're
You have like
trying
Kauffman
to
Stadium
move.
and 30 step Arrowhead. That blew my mind. I've never seen two stadiums so close together ever
But you
before.
Well,
know
that's
what?
pretty
The
cool.
parking lot experience is like no other. We're talking tailgating pre and after. Man, it is fun. You're not having to walk for blocks. I mean, most stadiums are in the downtown area and you're trying to scramble for parking and no one's together. The whole parking
Well,
lot is all together and it is smelling good, tasting good,
That's
and it's a
awesome.
lot of fun.
That is really
yeah,
awesome. That is really
I
awesome.
I definitely need to come visit now.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
man,
Yeah,
you'd be missing out on a lot if you don't like make that like one of your bucket list items to check that out. That's just it's an unusual experience. Like I've never,
it is. And if you
like
don't
I'm
like
not,
noise, you better bring your earplugs
yeah,
because it's loud.
I'm not like a super huge sports fan or anything like that. But like when I saw like Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium like right there next to each other, I'm like, what is this? What is this? But I was
I
lucky
know.
enough to catch a Marlins game and a Royals game like several years ago, and it was a pretty cool experience because like we were living out there in Kansas City, and to watch my home team the Marlins go against the Royals, even though they lost that day. It was
Oh,
fantastic to catch. Yeah. No, that their what does it call it? Their big screen,
stadium.
like the
The
screen,
jumbotron.
dude. It is so freaking huge, like
Yeah, and
so
we have
so
the
huge.
fountains.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, man. Ever since
Well, I
like Derek
mean,
Jeter came down here to like kind of like sit on the board of like the Marlins and whatever, we had this like really cool like effect for whenever a home run was hit. Like it was super
mhm.
Miami. And as soon as he came over here, it's like he like took it down. Like, come on, bro. You're not even from here. Like, I gotta do something like that.
Hey, hey,
Huh.
hey, hey! Don't hate on the New Yorkians, okay?
Yeah, I got to. I got to. For that one thing. For that one thing. I know you're from New York, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you gotta figure in the profits over budget. So he comes in, he takes all that stuff away, and then he trade away your best hitter to New York. By the way, so
Oh
happens,
man.
happens.
So this is not a sports podcast. We're here to talk about life, ambition, and business, and we have with us Teresa Soto, straight out from Kansas City. So Teresa, please talk to us a little bit about what your life has been like. If you used to work for the man, if you've always had a thought or an idea about starting your own thing, how did it all work out for you?
You know, I was that stay-at-home mom, got a job, I'm in sales and just doing the thing and just felt like I was existing. And then I got on TikTok and then I started seeing all this digital marketing stuff. I'm like, what the heck is digital marketing? Little did I know that I was already feeding into digital marketing every time I would go on a site and buy something and get that 20% code. I
Yeah.
just, I didn't really understand what it was. And then this $7 course came out, and of course I got it and learned a lot. I mean, it really opened my eyes. And I think from then I just kept going, and there were more courses, and I took a lot of digital marketing courses and really learned what it was. I'm 60, so I'm old. And, we didn't grow up with any of that stuff. we're all pen and paper and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I'm from that
writing
era.
it, calling. The texting is still minimal, but so it was just really opened my eyes to like, wow, I need to get with it because this is what's happening. This is what my kids are
Hmm.
doing and rolling into, and I'm already into the digital marketing system and I didn't even know it.
All right, cool.
So,
So you started off with like the whole digital marketing aspect of it all, but what did you do before that? Like you stay at home mom, but you were also doing what?
I first of all, I'm an esthetician. At the end of my stay-at-home mom, last kid was going to school, and I went to school to be an esthetician, and then that kind of rolled me into the current role I'm in now, which I represent natural brands, all those good certifications, USDA, organic, gluten, dairy, all that stuff. So still to this day call on natural grocery stores, and I represent about 80 plus brands, like really big brands like Campbell's and General Mills and Organic Valley, just a lot of big brands that we have a lot of the products that we sell into the natural grocery store. I don't go
Hmm.
to the conventional per se. So do a lot of trainings there. So I always have that. I love to learn new stuff, even at my
That's
age. Just
cool.
if you're not learning, then what are you doing?
Yeah,
Because the
yeah,
world is
I
Yeah.
agree
changing
with you.
every day.
Yeah. Learning is endless. That's the
Yeah.
only way you can evolve. You have to continually learn. And once you start learning, that's where you're stuck at. So
Yeah.
the more you learn, the more you grow.
True.
And I got into digital marketing myself with the same aspect. One thing led to another. And then once I got so intrigued with it, I couldn't stop. And that was 10 years ago now. And it's crazy how the journey it'll give you some ups and downs, more downs than ups sometimes. And if you're not in the right mindset, you will quit. Let's talk about your mindset. How's your mindset going into it
Oh
as
my
far as the
God.
journey? I know you hit a couple of bumps in the road and stuff like
A
that.
lot
How
of
did you get
bumps in the
through it?
road. You
Yeah.
know what? I had actually started working on my mindset, not even knowing anything about this, because I had gained so much weight. I was never a heavy person, and I used to talk to myself like crap. I would just call myself names, and
Yeah.
finally, I'm like, okay. Beginning of one year, I'm like, I'm stopping that, and I just started listening to more podcasts, and I'd never even didn't even know what the heck podcast. I'm like, I heard it, like, what is it? Where do you find it? Where's it at? So I just started listening and working on me being kind to myself. And then it totally plays into the digital marketing because
Yeah.
there are times that it gets hard and you start looking at other people and comparing yourselves and you're not where they are, but you're doing all the hard work and you're struggling. So you've got to be good with yourself and feel good and build yourself up, be confident, keep telling yourself you are capable of doing anything. Just stay with the course. Don't give up. That's really what it
Yeah.
is. Because the ones who succeed, they'll struggle and fall down, but you know what? You keep getting back up and you keep going. Just don't give up because you'll never know. You're almost there. You just
Yeah.
gave up. That you never know.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
So
and
it,
That's
it
that,
a
plays a huge,
word.
and it still plays a huge thing in my life today. There's still, I look at people, I'm like, damn, they're making so much more. Their videos are so much better than mine. I'm like, I am working hard and doing all the things I think, but you know what? You can't even think like that. I'm on my own path.
yeah,
You got to think this is
exactly.
your path, your journey. Stay with it and keep going. You're doing great. So
Yeah, one of the things that we all fall into or fall victim to is that of comparing ourselves and our journey with everybody else. Like it's exactly what you say. It's your journey. It's how you're evolving in the process, and hopefully that you're taking like all the losses that you're receiving as lessons
Yeah.
and not as losses. Because if you're not
right.
learning something out of it, if you're not extracting something that's going to make you better the following day or the following week, you know, then you really are losing. If you're not applying what happened, pick up from it, write down whatever it is that happened and how you can make that outcome a little bit better, you know, you're definitely losing on that. So like I have to like, I have to say like I relate to that because when I first started my whole journey, it was the same thing. I would be like, how do they get that angle like that? How are they able to like just reel somebody in with like just like the first three words that come out of their mouth? How is this?
Mm.
Why am I? How come I don't have any friends? What's going on here?
Well, if they like me, I like me. I think I'm funny.
Right. And it's like you really have to like disconnect yourself from being so attached to you, and see what
Right.
works and apply that, because if not, then
Yeah.
it's nothing. But okay, so look, I'm curious about, like, it sounds like you're, after the whole stay at home mom thing, the the whole the whole grocers thing, right? Being with all these big brands and natural foods and grass fed and all this good stuff. That sounds like really high. I don't know.
High end.
Money is involved. Yeah, like you
No,
were getting a
not
nice.
really.
No, not really. Oh,
No.
okay. So then, what was it that pushed you over to, like, I want to do my own thing? What was it that really said, like, hey, Teresa,
I
get off your
I
ass and
just felt
start
like
my
I
own.
was existing. I wasn't living. I needed some stimulation. I needed something, and that was it. I'm like, I needed to learn something new and learn it, but apply it. I can train and do trainings all day long, take a gazillion, but if you don't implement what you're learning, then you're kind of not going to get anywhere. And it
That's
took me a
key.
long
Yep.
time. All this thing, it was always about creating your own digital product. I literally just created it after what, 3 years ago, when after I started all this training, I finally did it. And I'm in the
Congratulations.
workings of doing so. You know what? I think it's I'm stepping out of the box again, because it's always stepping out of the box, or
Yeah,
else you're
yeah.
just going to stay in that area. Um,
That's
so
awesome. That's
I
awesome. I'm really
I
happy for you.
I'm in TikTok shop now. I'm doing lives. I'm promoting Crocs. I'm getting promotions. I mean, it's just all just snowballed into things. And my kids are like, "Mom, what are you doing? I saw you on live today." And they're laughing at me. I'm like, "Why are you laughing at me?"
That is
You know
awesome.
I have a similar story to that too, because I was an introvert when I started, so I was timid about being here, here, and here. Now I'm everywhere, and one of my kids said, "Hey, you just made it to my FYP." I was like, "Is that a good thing or a bad
I
thing?"
know.
But because the younger generation, they're more advanced than we are, of course,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they tell me a lot of stuff that I'm not keen to sometimes, but they pick up on everything, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll look at it later. Oh yeah, I'll look at it later. But the kids are on it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
yeah.
when they showed me, they was like, yeah, all you have to do is this, da 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 da. Now my trainer or mentor is not going to be somebody that's older than I am, because I'm in my 50s too, and it's going to be the younger generation, because they're more adept to it. You know, when things come out, they're the first ones to try. And they
Right.
can tell you if it's relatable or if it's working or not. And have your kids ever come to you and tell you, hey, maybe you should try this or that, or
No, because they're just still watchers. They are not
mm-hmm.
into it. They're not doing videos. They're not wanting to make any money from it. Or I'm
Okay,
trying to tell them, you know what, this could be a good little side gig to make some extra money. Oh, I don't
yeah,
know. I'm not sure. Both of them, my girls are in their 20s, and then I have a 19-year-old son. And they hear me. I'm
okay,
doing all the videos. They see me. They haven't
uh-huh.
asked. I'm like, okay,
Oh, but
Don't
that's
worry,
really
it'll
cool,
come.
man. That's
just
that's
wait,
really
just
really
wait
cool.
till I make it the big
Yeah,
bucks, and you'll be like,
once
okay.
once you start doing one of these numbers like this, they was like, hey
Right,
mom, what are
yeah,
you doing? Can
right,
I
right,
get in
right.
on this? And can you teach me everything or but it's like that. And then once you take a step out on faith, and you start reeling in the big prospects and stuff like that, then you'll be like, I would have never thought, no matter how long ago it was, I would have never thought this was going to happen to me. I said that about a year ago, but I've been into it, 7, 10 years on and off, but
Yeah,
more likely on. And when I finally hit the stride I was supposed to hit, it's like a snowball effect, like you say, and it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And now my mind is expanding, and I want to try this and I want to try that. But
yeah,
the biggest thing I had to come to grips to of terms with was I had to start with one. We a lot of people get into the digital space and they say, okay, I want 7 streams of income.
yeah. It's
It's cool, but you got to get one of them to work first,
right.
Yeah.
and then you turn it on. So I know you're into digital marketing. How many streams of income do you have right now?
I have just two.
Yeah,
One,
see?
one mainly right now. I'm starting a second one because
Okay.
it takes time. If you spread yourself too thin, which I tried to do, I was like on the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok all at the same time. I was like, oh my God, you get
Uh-huh.
burnt out trying to keep
Yeah.
up with everything. And then you get stressed out, and then you just and
Yeah.
I just shut down. I'm like, okay, I'm done. That was way too
And
much.
and that's the biggest thing is overwhelm. We get so
Yeah,
okay, we can see the goal, we can see the finish line, but putting it all together before then, it is a burnout effect because you have to be so many places: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. I was trying, but
in our
I
mind, we
found
think we
out.
can do it.
Yeah, it's not. No, that's where you hire a
No,
team.
but it doesn't come out like that.
No, 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 no. Everything that comes out, you be like, okay, I can do this, that, and other, and then you figure out, daytime turn to night, and next thing you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you got to go to sleep and back up at 6 o'clock again. So,
Yeah,
burnout is real. It's a reoccurring thing for all entrepreneurs. They think they can do it themselves, which they can. You just have to take it one step at a time.
right, right. Learn
And
one,
so,
everything you
yes,
can about one first, and then branch out. But for me, I think at our age, I still struggle with the tech thing. So I feel like
uh-huh.
it takes me longer than
Hmm.
for sure, the younger people to get to the next step because I still struggle. Things just don't come super easy to me like some
Right.
people. And, it just, everybody has their own journey. Again, it's like I didn't grow up with
Yeah.
the tech. I've learned a lot. How to
Right.
edit a video. Oh my gosh. At the beginning, I would almost in tears because I couldn't make it work. It would take me over an hour to just do one little
I
video. I
I
was like,
hated video because I was at the point where, if it wasn't good enough to satisfy me, I didn't think it was good enough to satisfy anybody. So out of the millions of videos that I've done, I might have put, maybe 10% of it out. Why? Because I wasn't happy. I'm a perfectionist, and I said it got to look this way, and it doesn't look like somebody else's. And then I got to the point
right.
where I don't care what anybody else's videos look like. Let my videos
Yes,
speak for me. Let mine
that's
be
it.
authentic. And that was the biggest breakthrough for me, was trying to be like everybody else. I
Yep.
can't. I can't.
No.
I can only be me. And I found out I had the best conversions when I just be me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's talk to us about where you are in your digital marketing career as of now. Are you still climbing the hill? Are you nearing the top of the hill? Or
I'm still climbing. I just,
Mhm.
I was on the Facebook for a while in a group trying to make that go, and it just wasn't me. I don't think that was for me.
That's
Well,
it.
I have come back to Facebook. I've started a new group, and I am going to be teaching women who was me 3 years ago, not knowing anything. You know a little bit about it because you're on Facebook and you doing your friends, but you don't know what to do next.
Right.
Might have a business or MLM or something that you're into, but how do I do this? What do I do? How do I make my page? How do I create a group or anything? So I'm
Uh-huh.
back on there. I've got a freebie, and I'm just started my first low ticket of how to get somebody started. Just the basics.
Yeah.
We learn slower than the younger. So 55 and over, just
All right,
Mhm.
how
so
to kind of
I have
navigate.
a question. Now
Yep.
that you mentioned low ticket, because I remember seeing somewhere, I don't remember if it was like in your group or in your profile, but there was a correlation between low ticket and high ticket. Could you talk to us
Mhm.
a little bit about like what the difference is and how it really affects like you as an
Yeah, they
entrepreneur?
do. It's pricing. It's how your digital product is priced. You have a low, which is going to be under $50. I think they consider mid $100+ and then high. Gosh, I don't even know what the lowest thing of a high could be. The high ticket is going to be more like your one-on-one coaching, so maybe 1,000 more,
Yeah.
like really in-depth, many video series with one-on-one coaching, personal calls that you give people. So there is like a price ranges per se of what
Yeah,
low,
and
mid, and high is.
that's almost like the beginner rate when you first start in. Now I've graduated to, let's say it's a level 2. All right, you're at a level 1 as a beginner where
Yes,
your low
right.
ticket might cost $7. Mine is low ticket starts from 27 to 97. Mid ticket is actually 197 to about 600, something like that. And then your high ticket is anything over, you know, 1,000, 1,500, something like that. But it is endless because now they have super tickets and stuff like that. A super ticket is like maybe 25 to 100 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me myself, I can't sit there and say that I'm going to pull out 100 grand out of my pocket and say, okay, I want this coaching course or this, that, and the other. I haven't graduated to that level. But if my business starts running accordingly, of course, I will invest back into myself because I know I needed to get to the next step, you know. And that's with every entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur don't need to start big, even though your goals are big. It's going to take a lot to get there because you first have to learn.
Yeah.
You have to come up with learning your skill, and then when you learn that skill, that's going to be your moneymaker because that's what you can turn around and teach anybody that's behind you. You know,
Right.
One of the things
and
that really stood out to me, that really like opened my eyes up, was the bottle of water, like analogy, where like if you were to go buy a
mhm,
bottle of water at the grocery store, it costs X
yeah,
amount of dollars. If you go to like a sporting venue or someplace like that, it costs that
yeah,
much more. If you're in the
yeah,
air with that same bottle of water, it's
yeah.
like $30. And it's like,
That's the air price. The air price.
but it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you have a product, and even though you have your price point, its
hmm,
value is different across the board.
Yes.
It's so
yeah,
different across the board. Like, I'm in web design, right? And I've charged, as low as like, 300, 400 bucks, 500 bucks for, a basic website, and for other websites, it's not really like a huge difference, but like, it gets up there. It gets up there to the
yeah,
point where it's like I could be charging, probably like 1,500 bucks for a basic website, and
yeah.
it doesn't really cost me anything but like a day of work, if that. It just blew my
Okay,
mind.
well,
That whole water analogy is just
Yeah,
mind
that's so
blowing.
well,
true. And
you
you
have
know
to
what
think
I
of it
just
like.
go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead. No, you have to think of it like this. The most precious commodity on earth is your time.
Hmm.
We as entrepreneurs, we take that for granted when we first get in. We say, okay, I have this time set to do this amount. But as you grow older up in your entrepreneurship or your digital marketing, whatever you want to call it, your time is very valuable. Now, you mentioned you did your websites for $200-300 a pop, you know, but how many of those can you do, let's say, in about a month?
Like I could, I
Okay.
could, I could put out,
Now,
I could put
now,
out a lot.
now, this is for you and Teresa, because at when you get so good at it that you can just put it out, put it out, put it out, you can systematize it. Now, you can remove yourself from that business and try to grow a little bit more, but you have to charge a little bit more money. Okay.
Hmm.
Your time and money has to equal out. Now you can't, I can't, let's just say I can't make 10,000 a month selling a $7 product because the demand is too high. I'm going to have to go out and get clients every day and it's going to have to be in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Now, what you could do, let's just say if you're good at what you do, making websites, or you have your own product in the digital marketing area, you wouldn't say, okay, I'm going to sell this for $7 just because I want as much people to come in. Instead, you would 3 times that price because you're not looking for everybody. You're looking for just those premium people. And when they come, it's less work. Now, I know you heard the saying, you can make more by doing less. This is what they're talking about.
Hmm.
Okay. So, Teresa, when you finally get to the point where you say, you know what? I'm good at what I do and I'm ready to go to the next step. I'm going to make my next product, and that product is going to be by me. I'm telling you from my life. Do not give it away. Do not say, okay, I'm going to put it on sale or discount for $27. And you're going to look back and you'll be like, why? Why did I do that?
Right.
That's the best part of you, you know? So
I agree.
when you get to that, yeah, when you get to that part, you'll learn that, you know, your time is more precious. You don't want to be stuck on your computer 24 hours a day, you know, manually banging out things here, there, here. That's not the life you want to live. It's called financial freedom or time freedom, and you're not giving yourself either or, you know. So, Teresa,
Yes.
you got your product in mind yet?
Yeah, it's the teaching. My low ticket offer is going to be
Mm-hmm.
teaching step by step how to, even if you have a Facebook group, how to make it into a professional group,
Mm-hmm.
how to add your profile picture, a the banner, how
Right.
to find groups. Like I met a friend the other day that I used to work with at one of the stores. Actually, she worked at the store. It's the store I called on. She has been a dietitian and a nutritionist forever this whole time, and she has her own business. She said, I'm your customer. I know so much information, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to
Yeah.
start because I was telling her what I was going to do. And I really, I was like, I'm just started this thing. I know you're going to think it's crazy, but I've been learning. She goes, oh my gosh, that's what I need. I'm your customer.
Yeah.
I have this. I could be making more money. I just don't know where to start. I said,
Yeah.
okay, well, then you're coming in my group and you're going to buy my product. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
So
That's
And
awesome.
people who they have the idea, they have the knowledge, they have, and it's usually our age group that
yeah.
we get stuck because we haven't never done that before. We didn't learn all those presentations in school. We were the pen and
No,
paper.
not at all.
So they just like freeze. So they never go anywhere until someone, you kind of got to lead them by the hand. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I felt. I felt like, okay, slow it down. Don't talk so fast because I can only, you're reviewing and stopping and going to these videos back and forth
Yeah.
and doing things as you go. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I remember I struggled and struggled because I was not familiar with anything at all. So I'm talking to those people that are like my avatar who want to do something, already have an idea, have a business, have
Mm-hmm.
something they're doing, and want to take it to the next level. So they need to get it out on social media. So they need to learn how to go about building things, their pages, and posting, finding groups to post, just things
Yeah.
like that. So that's what my low
Yeah.
ticket is, starting them, just getting them that intro into that. And I'll probably do my mid ticket a full video series step by step. I don't know if I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to add in maybe one, eventually a weekly Zoom call where we do it together, maybe 1 hour. That's it.
Yeah.
But that's where I'd like to eventually go and teach them because I'm more visual. Some people are, some people aren't, but to me, I like to
Right.
see it visually.
No, I think that
Right.
you're hitting
So that's kind
the
of my
nail right on the
direction of
head.
where I'm going, and that's what the people that I'm talking to. Somebody who I was 3 years ago, not knowing. I'm kind of interested in it, but what do I do? How do I start
Yeah.
it? How do I get this whole
Yeah.
page? I mean, I don't even know how I remember how I made my Facebook page years ago. I have no idea, but I've never changed the picture. It's an old 80s pic, how people's pictures like, what, that don't even look like you.
Yeah, no. If it
They don't know
works,
how to
it
change
works.
anything.
Yeah, no. If it works, it works. You can't you can't stress on the small stuff, especially for that. No, if it works, it works. You're grabbing the attention that you want, and like I
True.
absolutely love the angle that you're approaching. Because like you've taken yourself and put yourself like in the box, like outside the box, thinking inside the box. If that makes
Right,
sense,
right,
right? You're
It
identifying
does.
with yourself. You find the problems that perhaps like your age group, and it doesn't even really have to fall into an age group. It could really just be for those who don't have that type of connection with technology. And you're
right.
there,
Right.
like rolling out the red carpet for them. Be like, look, come here, take my hand. I'll show you around. And that's brilliant. That's brilliant because there is a huge, even though we are in the age, right, where we're putting screens in front of our little ones, there's still a gap. There's still a huge
Yeah,
gap
Oh
where those screens
yeah.
never
there
made it,
is.
and
We
you're
all work a
fulfilling
job
that
where
gap.
we know how to email and that's it.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You think
Exactly.
about it, I'm like, okay, I can do emails. I can attach a file.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
could change the
and there's
color of
you'd
my
be
font.
surprised as a beginner. There's a lot that I didn't know. I didn't know how to hyperlink. I mean, I struggled with the email part because I didn't know what to write. I mean, what is the right thing to write? And then I had to go through a whole slew of courses to figure out how to put them on an onboarding process, a welcome process, a
Yeah.
buyer's journey process, because my email was like, okay, now that you're here, buy this. And I was like, yeah, well, maybe that's probably why I didn't make no money for the first 5 years,
Right.
because it's just like the saying is, I cannot walk up to a woman off the street or anybody that I meet. Let's just say I'm at a mall somewhere, and just say, "Hey, what's your name? Can you marry me?" It doesn't work like that.
No, but they still
Now
say it.
they they still say it,
Yes,
but I
there
haven't
are those
found
out
one
there.
that said, if I was to walk up to a
never got
complete
the
stranger and
yes.
say, "Hey, would you like to get married?" Like, no. Who are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Then they think I'm a creep. But then I had to put that in my mind, because if people read an email just like that, they're probably thinking I was a creep. And then I was like, oh my, I sent countless emails, you know, not warming people up, not letting people know who I am, and from a hole in the wall. And I never got any response. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just go back to my 9 to 5, because this is not going to work out for me. And I wasted a lot of time, and then I was down on myself for a long period of time, but I had to learn. And
Right.
that's the
You have
biggest
to
thing.
learn. Yeah, taking
Yeah.
those lessons
So,
is valuable because like it's like how you say, right? I saw this video and it cracked me up, right? Because the video of this is of this like good looking girl, right? And
mhm,
she's trying to kiss this dude, some random dude. It's exactly what you were talking about,
mhm,
some random dude.
mhm,
And he's like pulling away, like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" And she's like, "What's wrong with you? Anybody here would love a
uh-huh.
kiss from me." And he's like, "Oh yeah, prove it." And there's a bunch of people walking by, and she tries to go up to them, and they're all like, What's wrong with you? What's wrong with
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. And that's one of those things.
you? It
No
tripped
like
me
and
out.
trust is a thing.
No like and trust,
Totally.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And if they don't know you from, like I say, a hole in the wall, you can just forget it. Don't try to sell nothing. But then I found the greatest skill ever, and that was to sell without selling. And I can't elaborate on it. I can't really, go too deep into it, because there's a whole psychological process behind that. But one of the biggest things I can tell anybody in the digital marketing space is just be yourself. You know, you can attract more flies with honey than sugar honey iced tea. I can't say the word. I'm on a no cursing week
Uh,
here.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
how's it going?
yeah.
It's Saturday. We're almost
I've
done with
been
it.
well, nobody's here, and I've been cursing all up and down. There's nobody here, so I don't have to pay nobody. But it's all good. But I'm trying to practice restraint.
Right.
But if there was one thing you could, tell beginners about digital marketing and how to, overcome a few things, what could you tell them?
You just have to start scared. You are going to be so scared to do this. Don't don't give a flying crap about what people think or what they're going to say. Just do you, stay focused, and just get it out there. Just start. If you
I
don't,
love that.
you can think it, you can have everything, think it has to be perfect. No, just do it, and you get better as you go.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And
Start
Start scared.
scared. I'm
Just
gonna
start
make a
scared.
shirt that says "Start scared." That is awesome.
yeah, and
I
you
tell
have to,
myself
because
that
it
all
is
the
scary.
time. Just start scared. Just start. If you don't start, then you're going to be stuck at the starting line and everybody has a finish line.
Yeah,
So
and that's
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 it.
the biggest thing because if you don't start, a lot of people have a problem with it, and 3, 4 months down the road, they'd be like, I could have been further along if I would have just started 3, 4 months ago, but they're afraid to get out there. They're afraid to, okay, just be online for once. And I don't, I don't like the feedback. People might think this of me, or people might say that about me. Who cares? Because people are going to talk about you anyway.
That's
People are going
right.
to look at you funny anyway. It doesn't really matter. I mean, stop. The only competition you ever have in life is yourself. I am my biggest critic. I will doubt myself 50 million times before I do something instead of just doing it. And then I got to the point where, I started getting older. I was like, you know what? I can't be ducking behind bushes all my life. So I said, you know what?
Yeah.
It's either now or never. And this is why, so many people in the digital marketer area, it's like the age bracket is from like 35 on up because they had the notion to say, I wanted to do this maybe 5, 10 years ago and just said, I'm not there yet, you know? And with the ever changing pace of digital marketing, what's happening today might not be good, I want to say 3, 4 months from now,
Yeah.
because things are changing so fast right now, especially with AI on the market.
Whew.
Your idea, if you have an idea right now, put it out. Because if not, that idea is probably going to be taken up either by AI or somebody else that just said, I'm gonna just go with it, you know? And
Yeah.
that's my biggest thing for anybody, just like you said, you have to start. It might not be right, it might not be correct, but the only way you're gonna find out is if you start.
I
That's
agree.
absolutely right. Start scared, 100%.
Yep. Start
That is
scared. I
like
tell myself that all the time.
All
that
right,
is
Bob,
one
put it on the
piece of
shirt.
advice
Put
I
it on
would
the
give.
shirt, Bob.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'll put
Yeah.
it in our store and everything. Start scared. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is really really awesome. Hey, I have to ask you permission first. Can I use that?
Yes, absolutely. It's not patented. Not yet. No.
Not
All
yet,
right, now
right?
no. Now when we $1 million in sales, and
Hey.
be like, I came up with that. Where's my cut, my royalties? I'm like, you have to talk to Bob. I'm just a
Yeah. Yeah.
mannequin.
Who
No, no,
are
no.
you?
We'll
No.
break you off. We'll break you off real good. That was awesome. That's awesome. No, for real. Like, start scared. Like, that's just like it sums it
Yeah,
all up in a nice little package with a bow. It's like, start scared.
yeah.
Here you go. Do it. Do it.
But the
That's
way
like
the
that.
way it's worded, it's going to speak to a lot of people in the audience because
Yeah.
a lot of people are scared, but they just won't admit it, and a lot of people are timid about getting out there, and this is some of the reasons why. Fear will stop you from doing a lot of things,
Oh
you know,
yes. It's the
Absolutely.
and
mindset. Goes back into the
yeah,
mindset again.
yeah, and
All right.
fear
So,
stopped me from doing a lot of things, and you know what? I just said I'm too old to be scared about anything anymore. I used to be scared of the dark, but then when I figured out,
Teresa.
th- go ahead.
No, no. I was gonna say, Teresa, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Like, let everybody know what it is that they can do to find you or to like go after your offer. Like if I wanted to, I'm interested, I'm like, in the age group, I'm looking to figure out what kind of, path I can take to learn more about technology and stuff. Like what is it? Is it just that Facebook group? Do you have something else? Is there something that I
Right
can
now,
throw
it's
to the people?
just the Facebook group. I'm starting. I don't have all my systems because when you start digital market, there's a lot of things that need to take place.
Yeah,
Um, like for example, when I sell something, I've got to send them to a link to pay. So I've got to connect a site. So I'm going to go on Go High Level and put things there, put my emails there. There's like a lot more than you would think that goes into it.
yeah,
So I'm getting all that together right now. And there's Lamont, there's a lot of steps that you
a lot,
yeah,
a
a
lot.
lot more than you think. Okay, well, like I got the offer. Well, now you got to do this and this and this.
Yeah,
But it's okay. You'll do it. It just takes you got to put it all
exactly.
together. Can't do
So
it all
here
in a
we're
day,
going
not
to
unless you
we're
spend
going
24 hours.
we're going to entice the people as soon as you have everything up and running, you
Yeah.
know give me that information. Let's drop it in our Facebook page. That way, anybody and everybody can know that this is Teresa's offer.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to get into digital marketing or something of that nature, get with Teresa
Right.
because we really want to
Right.
put that out there for everybody to take
Okay.
advantage of.
And
All
here's
right.
here's here's a big point that anybody can take with you. It's you're gonna need it's a lot of steps. It's a process to go through. But just remember, the journey is going to take you there. But once you put everything together, you don't really have to do anything else but promote.
Right. It's done.
So
Yeah.
it's going to take
And then you
it's
just
it's
keep
going to
going.
take time. Yeah, yeah, it's going to take time. First you got to prospect, then you got to have a landing page, then you got to have a thank you bridge page, then you got to have a checkout page, and then you got to have an email nurture sequence, then you got to have a buyer's journey, and then no matter what else you have in the back, let's say you have a mid ticket or you have a high ticket, and then you got to have all that figured out. If not, you're going to be stuck just like I was. Well, what do I do after I get the people? Okay, I sent them to the landing page. Well, what's next? And then you go ahead and hurry up and build that, and then you be like, okay, well, it's not working because I don't have this, I don't have that. If you lay out the steps and you work through every process of the steps and you build it the right way, you never have to build it again. Now you can duplicate it and build other businesses off of it. This is where I started doing mine, and it works. This is for another stream or another stream, but one stream has to work first.
Right.
Yep. Yep. You always got to get that first one going
Yeah,
because like
always, always.
that's where that shiny object syndrome kicks in, where it's like, oh, this isn't working, and then they're gonna like have like three other offers going, and it's like none of them are gonna
Yeah,
work until you get that first one going.
yeah.
Get that first
Right.
one
Got
Right.
going underneath your belt, and then you
30
can go
side
from there.
hustles. I know you see them on TikTok.
Yep.
Well, are they all working, or did you ever
I
even
be like,
finish
yeah,
one?
well, I don't know which one. I'm so confused. It's like you can make
Where
money
to start?
this way, that way. How about just give me one? Let me start with that one
Just give me
first, and
one.
then
Just give me
yeah.
one.
If
Right.
not, you'd be surprised how many people say, "Okay, I'm gonna take those four and I'm gonna try it right now," and then next thing you know, just a week's done gone by, and
They ain't nope.
their hair is falling out, and they wonder, "Oh my god!" But
Well,
yes, it's
Teresa,
it's digital marketing is a lonely field sometimes, and sometimes you got to travel that road alone. But once you got that mindset that you're going to do something and you want something better, you have no choice. You're going to make a bond with yourself, and then you're just going to finish it out, and then you're going to be surprised with the results.
absolutely. Teresa, I want to thank you very much for coming out and hanging out with us today. It's been a great, great pleasure to have you on board. And again, once you have something that's already set and ready, let us know so we can drop it in our
Yes,
Facebook
please
group for
do.
everybody to take
Please
I
do.
advantage
will.
of.
I will. Thanks for having me.
All
This
right.
was fun. This is my very first
Oh,
time appearing on a podcast. So hey,
everybody's first. I like that. I
that's
like
right. Heck yeah. Like you said, you gotta start scared. Just go for it.
Start scared. Start scared. And you know what? This is so natural. It's not like, it was a big thing, even though it was your first. You
Yeah.
just being you is the best thing you can ever do.
Right. Just
Absolutely.
talking like you're talking like Bob. We met through this whole digital marketing journey, and we just kind of
Yeah.
kept in touch. And just talking to a friend. Got
See?
to be just keep
Awesome
it real
sauce.
and be you.
That's it.
All right, Teresa. Well, enjoy the caviar and the champagne in the back. We'll see you in a bit.
All right. Thank you. Okay.
Well,
All
we really
right.
got to start putting something in the back room, like some elevator music or something like that.
Elevator music. No, man, we don't want to
It's
put
like we
people to
sending them
sleep.
back there in the dark, man. You know what? I've never been in the back room, so I don't know what's back there.
I'll put you back there right now. No, I'm just messing.
Wait a
I'm just
Oh
messing.
man.
Hey, man, but Teresa's got like a really good angle. I really like that.
Yeah.
Somebody that's looking to bring people into today's world, into today's time.
Yeah.
That's really really dope. I really like that a lot. I think a lot of people take
And
advantage of that.
of course, and the digital marketing field is so big. I mean, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But there's like almost, I want to say 5,000, 5 million different niches that you can pick from.
Yeah.
If it doesn't resonate with you, just find something that does, but be passionate about what you do. And then once you're passionate about something, then you can pretty much sell water to a well.
Yeah.
so to
I
speak.
think
So it's
you're right. You're right. You have to find something that's like
yeah,
really like sits deep within you that you absolutely love, because
yeah,
without that, to have the drive to continue to do it every day and meet new people, and it's like it could wear you out. And without that
yeah, it
drive,
can.
without that why, might as well throw in the towel.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: you have to, let's just say you work in a 9 to 5. If you don't really like that job, you're going to move on from it, or you're just going to stay
Hmm.
stuck in that wheel for like ever till you
Yeah.
retire and you be like 75 years old. And one of the biggest things I don't want to have is regrets of saying 30, 40 years ago I should have tried this. I don't want to have those regrets. So it's not like I'm living for the now. I am living for the now. It's just that I don't want to be on my deathbed and say I should have, or what if.
Yeah.
Those are the two questions I don't want in my head before I go, because I'm going to be grumpy. I'll be like, I'm not leaving here till I try it, and the next day I'm gone. But it happens. It happens.
It does.
Take life one day at a
Unfortunately, for the
time and
best
treat it
of us.
like your last always.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you being here. My name is Bob G. I'm your web design strategist, and we're going to
You
work on
know,
these intros and exits.
well, I got an exit for you since it's season 3. I pride
Tell me.
myself in the metrics, the boring part of life, the boring part of business. And if you don't teach yourself about the metrics, then you don't know what's going to work, what's not going to work. Let the metrics teach you where to go and how to walk. That's my
That's what's up.
outro for the day. My name is Lamont Braithwaite. I'm here all week. Look me up on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. I don't even have Snapchat, but if you're gonna go there to meet
You can
me, I
find
will
me.
get it just for you.
That's awesome. All right, everybody. Keep the conversations going and keep your caps on. We will see you next week, Saturday. What's that? The
Yep,
12th. Yeah, sounds great. All
the
right, guys.
12th.
Take care. Thank you so much.
And we're not off. We're off. We're not off.
We are off.
That's a hell of a delay.
It's a huge delay.
Okay. Well, all right.
All right. Teresa,
Yes,
thank you so much. You were
that was
awesome.
fun.
Thank,
Remember when you
yeah,
said
this
40 minutes? I thought 40 minutes. Oh my God, that's a long time.
no, 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 no.
Just talking, it's no big deal. It's like
I
5
And you'd
told
be
minutes.
you. I
surprised.
told
You'd be
you.
surprised how quick it goes. It's
Yeah.
it's 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 one of those things. Once you start talking, you get into conversation, and then you look down again. It's like 30 minutes already passed. Be like, how?
Time flies and you're having fun.
Oh yeah, it does. It
Absolutely.
does. And
Absolutely.
and that's the biggest thing. We like to have fun. We like to pick the brains and get some information, and then these stories, they help other people.
They really
Because
do.
there's somebody in your shoes that's sitting in the wings waiting just to hear just one little message, just to push them along. And no
Yeah.
matter how many interviews we've already done, it's always been somebody to say, I watched your podcast, and then I got on with this person, and you know I would have never been able to do that if I didn't hear, a couple of these stories. And that's the biggest thing. So thank you for coming on and sharing your story.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so
I'm
much.
glad you
Thank you.
asked
Thank
me.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
yeah,
it's
remember
I
when you
love
get
it.
that stuff
I
up and
love it.
running, when you get it up and running,
Yes,
please
Yeah.
let me know.
It's
I want
almost
to be
please.
more
together.
active
I'm
in the group.
just, it takes more time than I thought it would.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. I spent
connecting
so many
all
times
connecting all the
testing.
pieces. It was
Yeah.
like
And
in the
then
stereo back in the day. Remember all the pieces that had to go
oh
together?
yeah, yeah, yeah. But then they got they got
More
smart. They
connected.
started color coding the chords, and then you can plug this one in here, plug this one here. Before that, they didn't have no plugins like that. You just
Well, I'm at I'm not color coded yet, so I'm figuring it out. What end goes where end? Where
Yeah, exactly,
so
exactly. But
getting there,
that's
almost
a
there.
journey.
You did
It's
you
a
did
journey for
push
you.
me. Yeah. You pushed me, Bob, asking me. I'm like, okay, it's got to get done. So I was getting stuff on Canva, and I was
Yeah.
forget we're doing this.
Yeah.
Good. Well,
So
I
you
plan
gave me a
That's the
big
thing.
push to get a lot done.
I plan to reach back out to you in a couple of weeks just to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're still going, because you've got a passion, and we'd like to
Yeah.
see that shine, because I couldn't stop telling Lamont, well, you heard, you have a great call, you have a great niche. You're gonna help out a lot of people that need to,
Yeah.
unfortunately, need to get into this technological life we live in, this digital world that we're in.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
They
you're
don't
gonna
know where
fill a
to
huge
start.
gap
Like my
there.
friend I ran into her, she had like, I don't even know what to do. Like, how do I
Yeah.
do it on like Facebook? Like, what do I do? I'm like, oh
Yeah,
Yeah.
girl, come, I'll show
come
you.
That's
here.
the biggest thing. That's
Exactly.
the
I'll
biggest
show
Yeah.
thing,
you.
you know.
Come here. I'll show you. All right. Start scared. That's up.
That's
That's
right.
what's up.
Start scared.
You know what? I'm writing this down because if you don't put it on the shirt, I will.
Hey, I already wrote it down.
That's a
I
good one.
already wrote it down.
That's kind of like
Start
be happy.
scared.
Just start scared.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. I love this a lot. All right, cool. Well, Miss Teresa, everything's uploaded. We've got the audio and visual. Um, I don't know why that's still going up there. You see that, Lamont?
What? I don't see
It
anything.
says live on top of your screens, our screens.
It's still counting too.
Yeah, but
Hold
my
on. Let me
stop is
stop it
like,
on my let me stop it on my end and see if that helps it. I don't know
that
why mine
helps.
was still going.
Yeah, I pushed stop, but whatever.